How you doing, buddy? Okay. I think... Okay. Go on. Go on. It's okay. It's okay. Festival movies. I want to talk about more of them. I'm going to talk about a few more. So, yeah. Nothing to say there. I saw Night of the Kings. This film had a very cool concept, but wound up being mostly forgettable. The film had a very strong opening. It kind of throws you right into the film and setting with barely any context. It literally takes off like a rocket in the first 15 minutes. It just throws you in with no context, and it's honestly a great choice in terms of the setting. But then halfway through the film, I kind of realized that I still didn't really know what was going on. And throughout the rest of the film, I was only able to loosely piece together the stuff that I missed. I really loved the setting and the uneasiness it brought to the atmosphere, but even then it didn't really develop much of anything. Now, if this were the only issue, then I'd probably try to watch it again to see what I missed, but despite my huge issue with the lack of development, I can't say that the rest of the film was particularly exceptional. The acting was only decent, it wasn't particularly well shot, the music is overbearing and cheesy as hell. There was some honestly terrible CGI in the middle that took me out of the film. I don't like revisiting unexceptional films. So, you know, this really... I have no reason to watch this ever again. I'll probably never see it again. Which kind of sucks, because the first 15 minutes really did surprise me in how well executed it was. But that's just 15 minutes in this... I can't even remember how long it was. I think it was an hour and a half. So, yeah. I'll go with a light 5. The next film I saw was actually a short film by Pedro Almodovar called The Human Voice. I've only seen Almodovar's most recent feature film, which came out in 2019, called Pain and Glory. I thought it was good. I thought it was well made. I didn't think it was great. I think I haven't seen enough of the director's movies to really understand what he was going for in this film. I just thought it was good. Not really on the masterpiece train that a lot of people are on, so yeah, it is what it is. I thought it was legitimately well made, so don't go thinking that I thought it was a bad movie, because I didn't. I thought it was pretty good. This film was actually made during the pandemic. It's an adaptation of Jean Cocteau's one-act play about a woman who's awaiting a phone call from her lover who just abandoned her. There isn't really much to say about it because it's a short film. What I will say is that the set design is pretty great and the colors are vibrant and expressive. Tilda Swinton plays the only character, and she's honestly one of my favorite actors right now, and she does a fantastic job as usual. I don't really have any issues with this aside from it being pretty one-note. It's an interesting story, no doubt, but it doesn't really go anywhere incredibly compelling. It's entertaining, but nothing captivating. It's a good watch, and if you ever find it around somewhere, I would recommend you check it out. It's a good, interesting 30 minutes. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Another film I watched was a documentary called MLK FBI. This is a film that basically tells the story about the US government's surveillance of Martin Luther King Jr., based on these apparently newly declassified files. I didn't know much about the background of the filmmaking before going in. All I knew is that it was a story about the surveillance of Martin Luther King Jr. And as a history man, that just made me that made me in for the get-go. I was on board right from the beginning. But at the end of the day, this is one of those documentaries that purely survives on its subject matter. It's really not a boring film all that much, but it's presented in the most bare-bones way. One huge issue I have with the film is the editing. There are some scenes here and there where the interviews are sloppily put together. There's some obvious audio clipping here and there. There's a specific scene at the end where the audio quality just fucking dips out of nowhere. It was actually pretty funny. I seriously have nothing else to say about this movie, aside from the fact that it just had some terrible editing here and there, and it's an interesting story. But again, the movie just kind of rides on it. It doesn't really do anything unique with that story, or with the telling of that story. And I kind of forgot about a lot of it, which kind of sucks, because, again, it's an interesting story, and I was on board from basically scene 1, but also as a lover of good filmmaking, this didn't really impress on any level. Check it out if you want when it releases. I don't know when it's going to release. I'll certainly never see it again. Going with a 5 on this one. Just very underwhelming. Thank you very much for watching as usual. I'm just going to keep going through these movies. I'm seeing The Climb on the 9th. So, that'll, definitely keep things going. Anyway, I will see you guys later. I don't really have any announcements to make. Just keep an eye out for these videos. I also started working on that that underrated / overlooked horror movies video that I want to make after these festival movie reviews. So yeah, probably keep an eye out for that by Halloween, I hope. I want to sort of work on it in between these little festival reviews. Therefore, once I'm done with all the festival reviews, I can just record the video and have it out by Halloween. So that's sort of the plan. Don't know if that's how it's going to come into fruition, but that's definitely the goal. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. I'm Cynic, the critic. You already knew that, but I'm going offline for now.